Is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, closet swing traders. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. I see you guys are piling into the room to start off the. It's weird because it's like a new month, but at the end of the week, and you get all psyched up for the new month, but then you got 2 days off, 3 days off. They gave us a bonus day off this week. Keep in mind, the market is closed on Monday, so we do have a 3-day week ahead of us. We got Adam in the house. Good morning to Andy, Bill, Brian, Diane is with us. Good morning. We got Greg K rocking with us. Good morning to Greg Gilbert. Jay Linder in the house. He was the first one in the house today, just so you guys know. Jay Linder's ready to go for September. We got Joe. Good morning to you. John, Martina, Mike rocking with us. Good morning to Nancy. We got Ron. All my peeps in YouTube land. Good morning to all you guys as well. If you guys are sitting in YouTube land, just straight up lurking, that's okay. I still love you. Just hit the little like button, hit the subscribe button, and share the link with a friend. Whoever you think, whoever you consider a friend. That's fine. We got Anna in YouTube land. Good morning to you. Throwing in some comments bright and early. Let's take a look at the spots. We did have some employment numbers, and they were good. I thought they were fairly good. Market is taking it as positivity. Somebody in the chat, what kind of gap do we have today on the SPY? Somebody throw it out there. Share a link, make a friend. Well, Adam's calling what he thinks is going to happen. He thinks a fade with a bunch of A's, but what kind of gap is this? Gap and go. Ron says bull gap and go. Yeah, they're going to make this one. They're going to start us off very interesting for the month of September. Okay. So technically, yes, red candle, gap up. That would be a gap and go. You would expect this to happen, and we just crazy rocket ship. That's what you would think. I don't know. Technically, sentiment-wise, yeah, we're still bullish. We were bullish yesterday. This was a retest gap. All of this candle is a retest. And now you're kind of you're gapping above, I think, a positive candle. So I think we do fade a little bit. I don't think it's a huge fade. In the afternoon room yesterday, I was looking at this chart and I'm like, okay, if we gap up, what do I think this market's going to put us? And I was thinking we could get a little bit higher. I thought if we could get some crazy good numbers, we'd actually be a little bit higher on this chart. So opening somewhere above or at 456. That'd be like, okay, we got a crazy gap, and what do we do? Because we're at resistance, and it'd make it a little bit tougher, but I think that would be a better fade opportunity. This one, yeah, they gave us a gap up, not and I even so in Tony's session, he was talking about like, yeah, if we get a gap up, that'd be good because then it fades, and that might be the turning point. I don't know if this gap is going to qualify as that big old gap. It's something small, something crazy. But I'm looking at the chart. I don't really see anything else in the way of us hitting that target today of probably 456. We do have one little spot ahead of us. That's going to be 454.51. So that would be my next target. Maybe one a little bit higher, 455.91, and then eventually I think we can get into this 456. Where do we close? That's a big question. Does Win have power this morning? I have no idea. Why is that? Why is that a question? I don't know. I must have missed something, but I hope so. The hurricane? I forget where Win lives. I hope he's okay. North Carolina? Huh. I don't know. Was there a hurricane in North Carolina? Oh, he lost power? Last week, this week? I'm so confused of why we all know what Win's power is. I'm so confused. But this gap, if we could get a little bit of a fade, and we are gapping above the high of Friday, so that could give us a little incentive to move higher. I would love to see one little pullback. I would like to stay bullish until the market tells me different. Right now, we're stair-stepping up. We're still in a bullish direction. We got some targets ahead of us. Ooh, let's go, baby. I think we're going to go bullish. But again, the question is, where can we get a small little pullback at open? I would love to see it. And that's what I'm going to plan on. All right, QQQ. Lurking, good morning. Lurker says gap and go as well. I love red candle gap and goes. This is a tricky one though. Yeah, so the better one, a better gap and go would be if we were trending down and then this candle here is red and then you get a good green candle to gap up. So if this is your gap and go here, that would be better. Now you still have all these people buying, even on this one. All of those people are buying. They're all profitable. I think Craig Levine, I don't know if he's in the house, but he's got to be happy right now. He's got the 379 QQQ calls. Not really a lot stopping us up until, I mean, the Qs, there's nothing stopping us till 383.27. Somewhere in that zone. But we do have a retest gap. We've got a lot of buying ahead of it. And the question is, I don't think at this point I don't know if we get there. I think it's when we could get there. But we probably get a little pullback first. Hey, Win is in the house. Win isn't. Everybody that's concerned about Win and his power issues. Win has not just power, but the power. I've got the power. Yeah. Don't worry, everybody. Everybody settle down. Win's okay. He's okay. He's got power today. He might have went solar. I don't know what the power source is. We got to look into it for sure. But Win's okay. Man, everyone's going crazy. All right, if you guys have tickers, throw that into the chat. Let's see what the if you guys have anything in particular you want to look at. Otherwise, let's take a look first at Nvidia. Nvidia's got the power. Bill wants to take a look at AMD, Roku. Mr. Power Win wants to take a look at DG, Dollar General. All right, so let's start with Nvidia. Nvidia is gapping up above yesterday's candle. This one's still interesting. We've faded from here. We are at the developing VPOC from yesterday. Either at or slightly above the highs of the day. The next immediate target would take us to this 502.33. And then if we look back to the pre-market from crazy day of earnings, I think we got up to like 5. Yeah. So the high of this was like 520. We have untested VPOCs from this day of 508. So I'd put it at like 508. Let's call it 508. But it does have some room higher. The developing VPOC still staircase stepping up. We are above all the other previous developing VPOCs. I see nothing really in the way. Maybe first target on this one. Yeah, no, 508. That takes us right back there. So we'll see. But I like this one bullish as well. Again, could we get a little selling? I mean, that might be it. That little pre-market could have been the spot, but I'm leaning bullish on Nvidia. We might have already actually retested. All right, let's take a look at AMD. Win, do you still have power? I gotta check. He's still okay over there. All right, we got AMD, a little bit of a gap up, still inside day. I think AMD has had some pressure on it. Interesting spot for open though. I would put the target back to yesterday's developing VPOC, 107.68. 107 has been a little bit of a challenge to break through. And then we probably have 108.54 would be the next target. After that breaks, then we have a straight up home run on our hands to about 110.53. So we do have a lot of upside. I think we're still just Nvidia, I think, still looks a little bit better than AMD today. As we're just AMD has been in a weird struggle bus. So we're gonna have to see on this one. I think I'd rather focus on Nvidia out of the gate. Interesting location, and I do think we could probably get $1. I don't know what happens from that point. It is only really the developing VPOC. We didn't really quite make it to a 108.48. If we can really get going, I think 108.48 would be target. Something to that degree. Roku. We were looking at this one yesterday in the afternoon room. We even set a little trade. We didn't take anything official on it just because I didn't know what the numbers coming out today. And then we're also heading into a 3-day week. But this would be the trade. 81.11. And then stop would be down here. This would be a swing, obviously, as opposed to a day trade. but the 93.59, if we're looking back to all the Lux Algo volumes on the side, right now we are in a little bit of a heavy area in terms of volume. So I think the next stop that we could get to, probably 96.07. If that breaks, then we have a big range, so like 111.58. We're obviously down a lot. Next one, yeah, 111.58. So there's a lot of room. I kind of like this one as a swing trade. I was tempted to take it, but again, just with a few unknowns out there, and then heading into a 3-day week, I don't know if I wanted to really open the can of worms. But right now we're gapping up to 81.80, still inside day. I still like it bullish. Came down pretty decent location, didn't quite close that gap and go, and then it looks like it's taken off a little bit. So I do think that probably has a little bit of chop on it. If I have to play it, I'm buying pullbacks. I would love to see a bigger, deeper pullback on this thing, and I don't know if we could get it, because it does look fairly nice. I mean, even there's your resistance, and catching it the low of yesterday would have caught you into that resistance, and you'd be looking pretty good. So any little pullbacks would be decent. And I do have an alarm set up just in case we pull back to that zone. But yep, bullish to me would be the direction, and then where if we could get some pullbacks. All right, let's take a look at DG. DG TSM's $96 yet. I'll pull that up. We'll see. All right, we got Dollar General. These guys have been we at 52-week lows, I think, with these guys. Last time we were down in this range. Yep. So you get 2020 COVID lows on Dollar General. Again, we talked about First Solar yesterday in the afternoon room. They could be feeling the effects of some of the rate hikes. Dollar General, they could be feeling some of the pressure of inflation, right? If your store is called Dollar General, even though you move your prices to $1.25, there's only so much you can move the prices. So the sales look good. The revenue still looks good. I think how they get killed is margins. So I think margins are weighing in on their business. Five Below would probably be the same thing. They're kind of fixed at $5, even though you go in, there's some things that are higher than $5. But if the cost of those goods that they have to pay for them go higher, and that's their whole brand, it makes it tough for them to make money, I think. So Dollar General to me looks still pretty weak. We're at a little bit of potential support, but if this breaks, we come a little bit lower. So if we break the low of yesterday, that would be target. I'd be really considering probably about 120.39. So about 120. So it does have some more, I think, continued room to the downside. A lot more pressure. I don't know. Usually if you fear a recession, Dollar General gets some good bids. But again, even if they get good quantity, they're still not really hitting. Yeah, I mean, my next target probably. Well, the next target, I guess, would be about 120. I think overall target, this thing could probably get down to like 110, 109, 92. There's a lot of room on this thing. And then all of your volume here is 155. That's gonna be a tough one to break, but little decent gap down though today. And I think we get some more continuation out of that one. All right, we got Etsy, ESTC. Oh, no, it's not Etsy. Elastic. Is this the correct one? Yeah, got a good gap. A little bit of a retest gap, opening in a decent location. This is on the weekly. The daily looks similar. So here's one that is a retest gap from yesterday into a little bit of resistance. This is on earnings. Looks like we were in a squeeze as of yesterday. Usually the squeezes trading sideways last longer, but surprise side. So it only beat by 121% higher than expectations. So they were expected to lose money. They gained money. That's a positive. And then they came in with 8.9 million more than expectations. This one could be a decent runner. I feel like we have to go a little bit more higher, but that looks decent. Short floats. ESTC. Not a big short float. So it's gonna have to do the work by itself. But that was a good beat. Let me see the monthly chart on this one. There it is. Monthly, we're going to be weighed down by some moving averages. It's like a nice little longer term double bottom on a monthly. That might get some love. Again, it's got to go a little bit higher for me to really get excited. 73.60. And then we're going to have some moving averages right there, but weekly looks interesting. Again, we got this one little pivot. Tiny little pivot. We've been making higher lows. I'm going to add this one to the list. Looks interesting. I don't know how I want to play it because we do have a little tiny resistance that we're going to open at. So I think we could get a pullback on this thing. We got some moving averages ahead of us as well. My list is too long. I think eventually I just have every stock on this list. I think that's my goal. And today TradingView is not even going to let me put it there. Oh, there it is. All right, we'll keep that on the list. Take a look at shop. SHOP. Shopify, throw it back onto the daily. The Shopify weekly candle looks insane. Let me see volume areas. So the next stop, I think we could get continuation to about $70.26. That could happen today if the market is staying bullish. Really good breakout day yesterday. Again, this is a retest gap, little tiny pullback, nothing too crazy. Next immediate stop would be about 78.45. Now probably a little lower, probably about 67.36. But if this thing, the real next stop, I think on this one, if we could go a tad higher, I'm looking for $70.46. If that could break and start to hold, we could see maybe $86 on this one. But again, it's a little bit higher than yesterday. We've had some buying momentum and we are into a little resistance area, but otherwise it's not horrible. It's already pretty high on my list, so we'll keep it there. Which other one am I missing? DG, we got that one. Shop, we got that one. Yeah, it is a really good gap on ESTC. LUTZ. It's definitely not a ticker. At least for me. DELL. Oh, City not a ticker. I'd probably go bullish on Lutz. Probably go bullish on them. Not using any charts on that, but I feel like that's a good name. Really good gap on Dell Technologies. I mean, crazy good gap on this one. Earnings per share expected 52% higher than expectations on earnings per share. Extra $2 billion surprise on revenue. So Dell came out, absolutely crushed it. I thought there was something. Do they offer a divvy? Was rallying more than 12% after a reported fiscal Q2. Earnings per diluted share of $1.74, up from 168 a year ago. Analysis polls. So just on earnings. And then this one was ESTC. Which we looked at. Let's go to the monthly chart. Essentially, we're at all-time highs. And when I say essentially, it just means that we are actually at all-time highs. I just felt like that sentence needed one more word in it. So yeah, that is quite the gap, even on a monthly basis, which that would be this candle. So it looks like quite the little gap and go on a monthly. Let's see the weekly. Can Dell take off today? I would love to see a little bit of buying coming in. I mean, selling coming in. Give me a little selling out of the gate. That would be fun. Yeah, people keep in mind, people have been holding Dell forever. Dell is one of those stocks you just buy and you just do nothing with. And it's put you through the ringer. I mean, we've been up to the $60 range before. We've been down to 33. I feel like somebody would want to take some profits, but I mean, you lost about 50% of your position, and now it's giving you the opportunity to get out for higher, and then just move all your money right into Nvidia. Just like, man, why'd I keep my money tied up in Dell when it could have just been in Nvidia? Interesting gap. I think it has room to go higher. I would love to see some kind of pullback first, but there's nothing stopping us. We're at all-time highs. That makes sometimes trading tickers very, very difficult. Let's take a look at, because I mean, I don't know how far this thing could go. It's quite the surprise beat to the higher side. And we're already up a lot. That'd be my only thing. We're up a lot. We haven't really come down to this VPOC yet, so let's see if we can get a pullback. I'm gonna, oh, if I set the alert, it's gonna go off right away. But 6203. So if we can come back down, retest this, we got a beautiful high wave, almost take that place. So maybe look for something like, I don't know, 62. Let's see how this would play out. I'm not taking it, but it is the first day of the month. But let's play this high wave. Bullish entry. And I guess we'll stop and be below it. Nope. Not you, ghost guy. There we go. Maybe something like this. If it lets me change it, there we go. Stop. All right, what are these numbers? So this would be, trying to figure out what my 2R target would be, but this is 62.22 by 60.66. I feel like, I mean, for Dell, it feels like that's wide, but I mean, it's got momentum today. 2R target would be 65.34. Trading view is acting all sorts of weird. All right, so this is target. This would be 65.34. Looks good. It's very doable. That's probably how I would set this thing up. All right, we'll watch it. Again, we're going to need that pullback first. Whether we get it or not, we're just going to run right to that target right now. So, okay. Whatever. But yeah, that's a big gap. Mongo database, MDB. Check out the daily. So this one is gapping up, still into a little resistance. We might find a little support here. And this is technically a gap and go for you gap and go lovers. First target would probably be 403.81. They also had earnings. They surprised me by 100%. I mean, earnings have still been looking pretty solid. But that is a gap and go. That would be one to watch as well. That one could just wake up and go bullish. Mongo database, I believe, is kind of spready typically. So be careful of spreads. Whatever your setup is on it, you might have to go a wider. I don't think we looked at Tesla yet. And then I also want to get to TSM for lurking. So Tesla, a slight little gap down, which is interesting, doing something different than the rest of the market. Kind of just inside day out of the gate. That's going to be a little tougher. Let's take a look at TSM. Dollar General sells their cookies for $1.50 now, but now they're closer to $3. So adjusted their pricing up. I've never thought of buying cookies from Dollar General. Like, you know what? I could use a good chocolate chip. I would like a good macadamian. How do I get that? No, TSM probably still a little bit on the struggle bus. We got to get 95.12. So we got some room there. I got 3 more minutes left. Do we have any other tickers? How'd you get my targets on Nvidia? You basically just pick a high number and then you just go higher, and you're like, okay, that's probably where we go. My numbers for 508, they all came from pre-market on their day of their earnings. Because even though 502.71 is the highest on the chart, it did have activity higher. This is just where this opened on earnings day. But it actually made it over to, I think, I forget what we said, 528, something like that. AVGO. Is Raj in here? We were doing a one-on-one. We're looking at this one as we're on the call. We're like, yeah, that looks like a pen and powder about to break out. That was down here, I think, Raj. I think we're at like 862. Yeah. All right. And we were using like a 5-minute chart or something crazy. That would have been a good one. Yep. So this one's gapping down a little bit into some type of support for now. It's been extra bullish, maybe. And I would probably expect this one to fade a little bit. That was quite the hefty move, and we did just break out. Usually, you're going to get people wanting to take profits. So I think this one probably fades back to like 876.95, something like that. Lou says, Dan, have you answered for connection failed when logging into did you get those links, Lou? Yeah, no worries, Lou. I mean, I know 8cap's not open for the first 5 minutes, but the links should work. I know anybody that's had those links, just make sure you copy and paste your usernames into that. And make sure if you're on the edition, you're using the demo link. And if you're a live account, make sure you're using the live link. But that is the sound. The morning of the sound. What does that even mean? I don't know. But everybody on YouTube, love you guys. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe, and be safe out there. It is the first day of September. Keep in mind, market is closed on Monday, so we'll catch all of you guys.